So I got a question for you.
What?
Does Jeff get belly button lint?
I don't. What? I really don't know.
You never check his belly button? Do you get belly button lint, Jeff?
I do not. No.
You don't?
I've never checked his belly button.
I get belly button lint every day.
Are you that person that plays with your belly button?
No, look.
He's got a deep one though.
See, look at that. Look, it's already forming. I've only been wearing this shirt for 2 hours.
Well,
when I get home from work, I got a clod in there.
I love how you're just ooh, I had a question to ask you. Oh my God, I can't remember. Oh yeah, that's right, belly button.
Hey guys, so I have one last question before I let you guys go back to your friend's day. What's your favorite podcast? That stupid dating show. Here, here.
I mean, sorry, I kind of forgot what you asked me. I get a little passionate and then I kind of zone out.
Welcome back to That Stupid Dating Show. My name's Rain.
I'm Michelle.
My name's Jeff.
Jeffrey.
Jeffapa.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing. We went to the Metallica concert.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday.
I've been waiting to ask about that this whole time.
Holy shit. So he upgraded to floor seats. We had nosebleeds. He upgraded to floor.
How much was that?
It costed a little bit. It wasn't actually as bad as you think, but
it wasn't the snake pit passes that were $2,200.
Yeah. Jeez.
But
$2,200?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. $2,200.
So you said you got on the floor. Is that was that close to the pit? You guys, the video looked really close.
It was basically the pit. So the stage was circle. So the pit is the center of the circle, and then you have the floor, which is the outside of the circle.
But the stage rotated.
Right.
So,
I didn't realize that. My dumbass. I was like, babe, did you realize the drum set kept moving? I never saw him move it. And he's like, it was a rotating stage.
You never noticed?
I never even noticed it was
what
rotating.
What the hell?
I was like, these motherfuckers, it's like fucking magic. They're moving the damn drum set
So it was like
everywhere.
a stage in the middle, in a wrapped around people wrapped around the stage?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Wow. Was this at Spectrum?
No, it's Bank of America Stadium. So
holy hell.
Yeah.
The most
full
people at Bank of America ever.
Over 75,000 people were there.
Like they set a record for real?
Yeah.
Yep.
No shit.
Yep.
Crazy.
Wow.
It was insane.
So you guys were amongst 70,000 people.
Plus.
Wow.
And there was a mosh pit directly in front of us. I literally had to stand like this.
Jeez.
And shove people back into the mosh pit. One point, I almost got taken out by the mosh pit.
I don't miss mosh pits at all.
It was the nicest mosh pit I've ever seen in my life.
They were so nice.
It was not a mosh pit.
A courteous mosh pit?
If someone fell, they all stopped. The whole mosh pit stopped and they picked them up.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just shoving each other and skipping in circles. I called them leprechauns for a while because they just kept skipping in circles and pushing each other and then skipping in circles and pushing each other. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to start singing the fucking Lollipop Gill in a minute.
This is mosh pit etiquette. I've been crowd surfing before and got dropped, and it's I fell on my back, and then a bunch of guys come on, we got you, and picked me back up and threw me back up there.
Some crowd surfing did happen. There was a little bit of crowd surfing on the floor.
Between you two, or
no, I was not. Hell no.
Have you ever crowd surfed?
No, I don't trust people to touch me like that.
It's.
I don't like people touching me.
Yeah, it's not fun for a girl.
They did have the huge beach balls that they threw out for a while, so we got to do that. No, it was cool. And before the show even started, the whole stadium did the wave. Everyone.
That's great.
Yeah.
They did.
I bet that looked cool
wave.
as shit.
It was
Pretty
cool.
damn cool.
That is awesome.
Well,
cool.
Michelle gave herself whiplash.
I did.
How'd you do that?
Oh my God, headbanging.
Yeah.
Headbanging.
My neck hurts.
That's why you couldn't do anything on Sunday.
I couldn't.
Headbanging.
There was no. There
You have any
no
videos of
functioning.
her headbanging?
I do.
For real?
I do.
We're going to have to post that on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely.
I can just see her going.
Oh my God, I was so
Hair going everywhere.
So we stood back by the gate that blocked off the special seats that people bought down in the field where they got to take the chair or whatever. People got that shit for free, and we were standing at the gate. Well, eventually I realized behind the gate, behind the whole pit, there's a step behind it, so security could stand on it and see.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Motherfucker, I stood on that sumbitch as long as I could until they told me to get off.
Did they tell you to get off?
Yeah, twice.
Dang.
So one girl hurt herself. She hurt her ankle, and they had to have a wheelchair. So they brought that over, and they told us to get
about
down.
that.
Yeah, she came over right in front of me, and they told us to get off. And then I went my ass right back on there, and then I got tapped on my shoulder from behind. Ma'am, get down. No, go fuck yourself. No.
The tallest girl in the crowd standing on the damn.
I could see. I had a great
I'd
view.
be on Jeff's shoulders, showing my tits.
No.
Well, I tried to show mine.
He did.
I mean,
You tried? What stopped you?
holding onto the rail. I was so drunk.
He was complaining the next day. He was like, "Why is my butt sore?" Well, then we figured out it's because he was sitting on that rail.
On the rail.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So-
He's had like a butt soreness area, a shape of a rail.
Yeah.
No, it was good. The people around us were so good too. They were
were.
all nice.
They were really
we had
super
great.
nice.
I was like, when we got there, I was like, let's make friends now, so that way when we have to go pee, you can save our spot, and when you have to go pee, we'll save your spot.
Nice.
And
That's a good strategy.
and it worked.
Hell yeah.
So
That's awesome.
It was awesome. That probably,
Concerts are always good though. Like rock concerts. I don't know. I haven't been to many others, but I've been to a few country concerts. But
That's the most epic concert. No one will top that
hands
concert.
down. There is
Metallica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody
That's cool.
will top that. There's
You
no
can't
way.
you can't compare that to any other concert unless you go. Until you see that, it's the
Oh
shit.
man, that's crazy.
It's still all over my TikTok feed. All over it.
Really?
Just Metallica. Everybody that was at. I found out like 5 of my friends from Salisbury were there.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit. It was insane. But
That's really cool. That's like, I mean, it's like a once in a lifetime type of thing,
that's
you know?
why he upgraded to the floor.
That's awesome.
Once in a lifetime.
I guess, I guess they're not really going to be touring too much longer.
This
I don't
is probably
know.
one of the last.
Well,
So-
this was their 100th
This was our
concert.
it was our 100th show
of the tour
of
this
the
tour.
the Bank of America Stadium. So
Yeah.
it was even bigger. And then when he started singing,
Nothing else matters.
Nothing Else Matters. It started raining when the song
Well,
started.
Wait a minute, because he dedicated that to his buddy Cliff.
He did.
That he committed suicide.
It started raining when the song started, and it stopped when the song ended.
Yeah,
We are not even fucking kidding.
I kid you not.
That is exactly what happened.
Like you could see
but
clouds
but
and
it
stuff?
wasn't like raining,
Wasn't like
raining
fake
heavy.
rain?
Like it was.
No.
It was like a mist, cool.
It was a rain.
Little sprinkle, just like.
You sure it was rain?
Water from the
it
sky.
was. Oh,
it was straight rain.
Yeah, it was.
The whole stadium felt
just
it.
that song from the beginning to the end, and after that,
Yep.
it was rain.
That's a little,
It is insane.
It's wild.
Yeah.
But if you watch
But
the
it makes
TikTok
you wonder,
videos,
like,
that's wild.
was that, you know?
Yeah.
if you watch the
Like-
TikTok videos, you see people in the nosebleeds.
Yes.
It's raining for them too, and they've got it up. People in their apartment complex, you can see the rain, like that can see the Bank of America Stadium from their apartment. You can see the rain. It's fucking crazy.
That is nuts.
It was crazy.
It was insane.
And that was it. No more rain. No
Insane.
rain all day.
After that,
just that
was
spot
it.
of rain, and then no more rain.
Wow. I might have
crazy.
cried.
Yeah.
It was
But
amazing.
when they played that song from like the beginning and they just kind of stretched it out, it was just, I mean, it was almost as if the whole place you can drop a pin. You know what I mean? All you seen was cell phone lights.
Yeah.
So
Could you see? Yes, I could see because I'm 5'9", and all those people were short as shit.
What the fuck kind of question? Did you read that?
Yeah.
How come I see more fat girls in relationships than I do fat guys? What kind of question is that?
Well, men have their preferences, but we're just throwing that out there. All right. Someone's eager to get into the dating world. They're tired of hearing about Metallica. I mean,
Let's get over this Metallica shit.
yeah.
Come on.
Men have their preferences, and
Oh my
women have
God.
their preferences. Well, we'll actually get to that part. That is actually in our show today of stereotypes, men versus women in relationships. So if you stick around, you may hear an answer you don't like. I don't know.
That's hilarious. My mom said, "Who did you see and what did you pay?" They went and saw Metallica. They probably paid $8,000.
No, Metallica.
at Metallica, Suicidal Tendencies, and
Pantera.
Pantera.
Ooh,
All
It was
three
good.
were amazing.
All of them.
Pantera. That's
Pantera.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was headbanging.
I kind of want to get you guys' autographs.
Oh, you should.
Just for
Oh,
being
man.
there.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
was
For
headbanging
sure.
from Suicidal Tendencies all the way through Metallica.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm telling you, Rain, I was in tears on Sunday.
But the
it
thing
fucking
is,
hurt.
it's so hard to talk to somebody that didn't go
Yeah.
and tell them how amazing it was.
Right. The videos don't even
The
do it
videos
justice.
don't. And when you're there and you're literally from here to the banister, and there is the band, you know,
Yeah.
whether
Right
it's
there.
Suicidal Tendencies or Pantera, you're there and you could feel it in your chest. Just
That's
the whole
amazing.
stadium was rocking. You see some of my videos, you see this.
Yeah.
I'm not shaking. It is everybody. It's
yeah.
crazy.
I'd like to have been on the outside of the stadium just to hear the noise coming from within.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I bet that was cool.
It was a good time. What wasn't a good time is before we could get in the gates, I had to pee so bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't you hate that?
I was almost
Yeah.
in pain. He was like, let's go to the woods. I was like, I'm not going to I went up to the security guard and said, when are they going to open the gates? I was like, sir, I have to pee really, really, really bad.
But we did get there.
That's why you need a Shiwi.
12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we pre-gamed. I mean,
Yeah.
we ate and drank a little bit, pre-gamed.
And
So
then
by the time
walked.
they opened the gates, you know, we were
Oh God, I
we
had to
were
pee so
we were
bad.
a little tipsy.
We were tipsy. One lady told me, she was like, honey, you have a whole concert to go through. I was like, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. It was a good time.
I'm
It was really a
fine.
good time.
So do this. I wrote down Sammy's.
Okay, so we're going to do the same. Okay, guys.
I got to run out here real quick.
Okay. So we are going to be at Sammy's again on June 14th. That's Father's Day weekend, I know, but this is on Saturdays, so it's not going to affect anything unless you're going out of town, obviously. Maybe you're coming into town. Come to Sammy's. We're doing the live again. We're going to have music. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have conversation. This is not going to be live on Facebook, so if you want to enjoy it, you do have to be there. We want as many people there as we can. Sammy's has invited us back, and they want to keep inviting us back, and we want to make it bigger and bigger every single time we come. So don't miss out on all the fun.
Wow.
You don't even do the live announcement, and you still fuck it up.
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Anyway, so we're gonna,
Sorry.
we're gonna have some drinks. We're gonna have a good time. We learned all kinds of stuff last time from different people, and we want to bring in even more. I'm sure Bree will be there to bartend for us. I'm hoping, because she was fantastic. But it's gonna be a great time, and if you miss it, that sucks for you.
Yeah, it is going to be a really good time. I'm really looking forward to it. We are like a week and 3 days away.
Mm-hmm. I think we're gonna have a better hang of it this time.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, we're taking out some of the difficulties we had last time.
Yeah.
So.
I think I'll be more relaxed.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to have me a nice hearty meal before we start.
It's probably a good idea. Me too.
Yeah.
I'll probably order something while we're setting up and munch on it.
Yeah.
And then do that.
But yeah, Sammy's neighborhood pub in Belmont, June 14th. I keep forgetting the date.
June 14th is the day before Father's Day. But I know that we said we are announcing the coloring contest winner today also, and we are, but lucky for you, it's at the end of the episode, so you have to listen to us first. So keep you hanging on. All right, so we had a few topics. Each of us had our own topics that we wanted to bring up.
Before we get started.
Right before we get started.
Actually, no, go ahead.
Yes, no.
Oh, well,
What
I don't
you
want to
got?
forget. I don't want to
Okay,
forget.
don't forget.
Okay.
You'll forget.
So I saw this commercial on TikTok. And I want you guys to listen to this.
Okay.
It's kind of mind blowing. So here we,
Clay, he already threw beer on me.
With 4 kids, something had to change, and that's when DoorDash came in. The first time we actually went as a family, we brought the kids with us, and we all piled into the minivan.
It'll
and
start over here in a
It
second.
was super fun. Every dollar we made went to the house savings. Sometimes I dash to get away from the chaos of my house.
now listen to the beginning.
Come on in. I would not be living in this home if it weren't for DoorDash. We were living in a 1,000 square foot house with 4 kids. Something had to change, and that's when DoorDash came in. The first time we actually went to
There's a legit commercial on
So she's
TikTok.
became a door dasher.
And it paid for that
And it paid
giant
for that
ass
giant
home.
house. Like, she's door dashing all day.
And all night.
Right.
Like she's working doubles.
Well, So how much do you make per delivery?
Whatever they tip you.
That's it.
Yeah, but
You only make
you
tips?
obviously got to make something.
You gotta make something off the come.
Well, I think there's. I mean, there's only. Okay, so we DoorDash the other day. We DoorDash Panda Express. Let's just do it this way. And our total was $28 for both me and my coworker's meal. Right, $28. Well, then there was $6 and something plus with taxes and fees. So you think 7.25% in taxes, whatever that equals to, like what, $1 and something, and then you add the tip in. So it's whatever their fees are. So DoorDash gets part of that fee, and then they get part of that fee. So they're probably paid like a waiter or a waitress, where they only get.
Well,
I used to drive for Lyft.
How much did you get per run?
It would give me a percentage of. Well, I guess it's different because you're purchasing food that's already a set price, but like it would judge on like distance and whatever, and then whatever tip on top of that.
And they may be doing that. That may be what they're doing.
Because they got like, I mean, you're not driving for free just working on tips. There's no way.
Yeah.
They can't pay much.
But I don't think you're buying a $500,000
because
house
if it's
either.
a $28
No.
meal and it's only
No.
$6.28 taxes and fees, okay, $5. Let's just say $5 for the fees, and then the tip that we left. So that man probably made $11 on that run.
All right.
So how much are you tipping?
I don't do you I
You might live in a really good area. You live in downtown Charlotte. You live in downtown Atlanta.
Well,
you live in places like that. Maybe.
I will say that I did deliver for a Italian restaurant, and on a Friday or Saturday night, especially if there's like a game on, you know, a Duke or North Carolina game, I would make $60, $70, $80 a night.
Yeah, but did you see her fucking house?
That's from tips, and then I would get paid
yeah.
from the restaurant.
You were delivering for a restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I used to deliver pizza. You ever go to Fuel Pizza?
No.
Yes and a no. I used to deliver for them, and being not as popular as like Domino's or you know whatever, I did pretty decent, like 60 to 100 a night, maybe.
I think people are
On a
more
good
apt to
night.
tip somebody that works for like a mom and pop restaurant than they are for somebody that works
Well,
for
and I did have a
But you
nice
get a lot more
area.
deliveries
Yeah.
with Papa John's.
Oh, yeah.
They probably have 20 for every
Yeah.
6 of Fuel Pizza.
That's true. That's insane. If anybody's a DoorDash driver or a delivery driver of any kind,
We'd love to have you on the show and talk about it.
We
you
can
know,
have you
See
on
if-
the
pick
show.
up chicks while you're
I bet you
dudes.
did.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder if there's Amazon drivers. You know, they deliver to the same house. You hear about them affairs all the time.
Yeah, but
with
they
the
don't-
delivery
I haven't
driver.
heard about these affairs.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
Really?
People have affairs with delivery
Yeah.
drivers. They.
I mean, if you get the
Yep.
same delivery driver all the time, they build a
most
relationship.
of the time, if you get stay-at-home wives, they're bored during the day. Their husband's at work, and they keep that
Yeah.
same Amazon driver keeps
That's
coming.
right. They make,
Oh yeah,
they make tips too. You know.
Yeah, they make good tip.
she starts getting the hots for Jaqual.
So if you want to, you know, expose your affair, or if you're the driver and you just want to come on and talk about it, let's go.
Big schlong.
Oh God. You think about that. This goes into our next topic because a lot of times the delivery drivers are in their 20s. And
Here we go.
oh my God, effing the mailman. Yep, that could happen. I still think I'm the mailman's daughter. I kind of hope I am.
Oh yeah,
But-
it is perfect transition over here to age gaps.
I love your mom. Hi, Mom.
She's the best. She is the best.
Hi, Mom.
We got to take the podcast to her house one day.
Yes, we do.
That would be
I need
amazing.
more about the back hair guy.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. We should do that.
We got to do it. We should definitely do it.
We got to do that. Anyways.
All right. So we're at age gap couples when it's normal and when it's cringy.
I want to pull up that thing I sent you.
Okay. I don't remember what did he? I don't know what he sent me. I'm lost.
The how this came up.
The age gap couples.
The post I sent you.
Oh yeah.
It says-
now I remember.
It says, correct me if I'm wrong, but a 30-year-old has no reason dating a 18 to 23-year-old.
Yes. Yes, that's
Jeff's like, Jeff's eyes got so big.
so I make fun of Jeff, and we don't talk about the past or anything like that on here, but I make fun of Jeff because I'm like the oldest woman he's dated
Really?
in.
This is a great conversation for. I'm glad you're here, Jeff.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, Jeff, on so it's not necessarily age gap. It's more an older, like a 30-year-old with like an 18-year-old.
30-year-old at a totally different place in their life. At 30, you are in a different place in your life than you are.
So much more wisdom, brains, and all at 30 versus 18.
Speaking,
Don't talk anymore. You're don't let him get.
Let me speak. Let me speak. Okay, so and I'm about to be 40 this year.
Damn.
So, damn it. Listen to your elder. So now it's all about connection, obviously. You know what I mean? But I think when you're like 30 and you date an 18-year-old, it's more about you're at that point to where you know you're getting old and you're kind of showing off your 18-year-old girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like it makes you feel young again. Because be real, when you're 30, it's like when you're past 21, what good is a birthday?
True.
You know what I mean? Like you've already you've got to the point to where you can buy alcohol and drink.
The pinnacle.
Yeah, after that it's like what's next?
Now what?
You know what I mean?
Old age.
But when you get to 30, it's kind of like, oh, I'm starting to get there. You know, I'm not old, but I'm getting there. You know what I mean? But then you find this amazing 18-year-old. You know,
Amazing looking or literally amazing?
well, amazing looking.
Okay,
Because
I was just wondering.
there's no 18-year-old that's amazing out there. But
I don't want you to put words in his mouth.
yeah.
That's why I said don't. I want an actual, genuine Jeff answer.
I hope you guys enjoy the Rain and Jeff show.
The Rain and Jeff show.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, I saw his face when we brought it up, and then he started giving his answer, and right away you said something. I don't want you to put words in his mouth and try to
Okay, I'm gonna put the mic down.
manipulate Jeff into saying something he doesn't want to say.
Wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so what about you, Michelle?
Yeah.
I put my mic down, and now you want to talk to me
Well, yeah, I want to like how do you feel about it?
about a 30-year-old dating an 18-year-old?
Yeah.
I think someone's searching for their youth, and they're not going to be in an actual relationship. Like, they're going to feel like it is, and that 18-year-old's going to think it's so cool that they're dating a 30-year-old, but it's not.
When you were 18, did you ever want to date like a 30-year-old? Like, was that a...
When I was 18, I was already engaged.
Okay. Well, so...
So, yeah, no.
All right.
Answer that.
I didn't know what else to say.
Yeah, when I was 18, I was already engaged, so there was that.
You know...
But go ahead, put words in my mouth because it's okay if you do it.
No, it's all right.
But
What were you going to say, Jeff?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't get
Well-
past that.
I don't think it's appropriate
Don't-
to ask right now.
Oh, jeez.
So your ex, how old was he?
My age.
Oh, okay.
We met our senior year of high school. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
yeah, same age.
Okay.
But so there was nothing crazy there. But I did know people that were dating like 30-year-olds, and that's what the girls thought is they were cool because they were dating a 30-year-old. Meanwhile, to me, and even in my brain, I'm going, he's 30. Like, why is he dating an 18-year-old? And to me, and I know this sounds bad, but it's like it almost sounds like he hasn't grown up.
So why would a guy date a younger, or no, excuse me, let me reverse that. Why would a girl want to date a guy
See, and I
that's
don't.
older? Like what
That
what
older?
did they get out of that?
I looked for an older guy when I was there. I didn't want anybody my age
Why?
or younger because all the men my age or younger were boys. Let's be honest. Like every single one I met or talked to, or they were so immature, it was obnoxious.
What point are you talking about? Before you met Jeff? Mm-hmm. Like after and then the in-between? Mm-hmm. Okay.
They were just very immature. They were obnoxious. They wanted one thing. They weren't like, it was annoying. So
what was your peak age?
42, 43. That's as high as I would go. But I wouldn't go I didn't even want anybody my age. Like I was 34 at the time. So I'm like, I don't even want a 34-year-old. You need to be 35 and up.
I think you caught a good fish.
I did.
Got really, I
did. I really did.
Yeah.
He's a good one.
I don't know Jeff as well as you do, but I
would
like
hope
him.
Not.
9 months in. We just, what was it, yesterday? 9 months?
9 months.
9
9 months
months.
today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Since
you could
our
have had a
first
baby
date.
by now.
No.
No.
Absolutely not. Nope.
If the first night you guys,
Yeah, no.
plugged each other.
That's no babies. Ugh. That will never happen.
All right.
Right. It's the baby thing that
I
threw
get
us
it,
both
yeah.
off because we're both like, oh, nope.
Next.
Yeah.
Next.
Moving on.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was. But that was definitely something I looked for. And to me, I don't know what it is about the maturity level of a 32-year-old. But they do. A lot of 32-year-olds now, based off of what I knew from when I was in the dating world, they want the 20-something-year-olds. They don't want people older than them or their age. They want way younger. And it's because of looks. And I'm like, guys, I don't think I look old for my age. Like, a lot of people I say, guess how old I am? They're like 28. And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Sorry.
You got nothing.
Well, I started thinking about something else.
And I think as you get older, the age gap doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
I
think the biggest thing is it's so borderline underage.
Yeah.
That's why people have such an issue with it.
Yeah.
Because what's the difference between the day before the birthday and the day after the birthday,
Right.
of turning 18?
The 20-year-olds, like when you're 20, you're discovering, you don't know who you are until you're at least 30. You don't know who you are in your 20s.
I feel like for me, 30 to 32 was like me of like going through an evolving stage.
Right.
And then it turned me into my mid 30 guy.
Right.
You know what or whatever. I don't know.
When I hear like a 35-year-old dating a 50-year-old, I don't think twice about it. Okay, whatever, live and learn. When I hear a 40-year-old dating a 25-year-old, I'm like, why? I think it's a thing about the 20s because everybody knows when you're in your 20s, you are learning who you are.
Yeah,
you don't know
I
who
agree
you
with
are
that.
yet.
I agree with that. I don't think you fully mature until you're about 30.
Yeah.
In all reality.
What do you think about the age factor of being on the borderline? Like, how do you see that as a man? If you were to date an 18-year-old right now as a almost 40-year-old?
Well, again, if being in my shoes, if I was single and I found an 18-year-old, it would strictly be about me feeling young, showing her off, and the sex. Because I would know going in, she's
fair,
not going to be worth
answer.
a flying shit. I mean, seriously.
Start calling you Fox News, fair and balanced.
That's right. Fair.
Well, and chances are she's 18. She's most likely, even if
She's
you were...
not. She's not.
Even if you were in your head like, okay, this is going to be a relationship, we have a good connection, she's probably going to cheat on you. You're 40 years old.
Happen. If
Like-
if you look at their statistics of an 18-year-old and how many guys they have for a woman, how many guys they have that they have sex with on a regular basis, it would blow your mind. It is a lot.
I'm sure. I mean, you've got women right now on OnlyFans trying to beat world records on how many men they sleep with. Like, that's popular right now.
You may think
Not
that
popular.
they're only sleeping with you, but they're not.
Yeah.
How many? I would like to know the stats on how many successful relationships of like a 30 and 18 or 19-year-old? Like, how many actual successful, like, we truly love each other, married,
And
kids,
I'm
whatever?
sure they're out there. I mean,
I'm sure it's a low number, but I'm
is.
sure it's there.
Do you look down, like, if you had a friend who was 40 and he's dating a 18-year-old, would you feel weird about it?
Yeah, and I would tell him that.
Really?
I would tell him you're a fucking moron. She's 18 years old. Yeah, no, you know I don't have a problem being honest with somebody.
I mean, no, but
And I'm gonna say it. Like, why the fuck are you dating an 18-year-old? She's still a child. Because to me, an 18-year-old is still a child.
I mean, I've been in that situation.
It's still a child to me.
see, that's the biggest issue with it. Is I mean, I mean, people look at somebody and refer to them as a kid until they're in their late 20s. You know,
Yeah.
like, look at this kid. You know, like,
I still call the guys at work because they're in their 20s. I'm like, you're just babies.
and it shows. You like at our age, you can tell like the age of somebody just by their demeanor.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, half those 18 just got their damn driver's license not that long ago.
Well, hell, Michelle tells me I act like I'm 18 all the time.
I would go lower, but yeah.
At least
Both of you.
At least
Oh,
I'm
me?
fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you. Yeah,
Okay.
You. Yeah, yeah, you.
Okay.
Yeah, 100% you. Let's see what we got. I think a man can go younger because their maturity isn't as advanced. If a woman went younger, the maturity level would be like dating a toddler.
That totally makes sense.
I mean, you're right. And then barely legal is too close to jail for my taste. Facts. The biggest age gap she did was 15 years. It was a big reminder I'm not 25 years old anymore. How old were you and how old was he? That's the question. How old were you and how old was he in that 15 years age gap? So, answer. So now,
Wave your wand.
wave. So now, okay, we're all. You're almost 40. You're what, 36 now? I'm 35. 37. Good God, old ass man. I'm 35. You're old.
I hope 30 years from now we're sitting here doing this podcast still, and me and Jeff are, you know, we set our walkers over there, and you're just young and spry, and then
Yeah.
your tennis shoes and stuff.
Yeah. And so if you were single, would you date somebody 10 years younger than you? Would you date a 30-year-old?
I would. Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. If the connection's good, I would. Yeah.
Would you date a 27-year-old?
No.
Okay. We already know I'm not dating a 25-year-old. So there's that. That would never happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, I
We're going
wouldn't.
with
I
that.
mean, what's the well? Never
What would be
mind.
the lowest you would go? I don't care. What would be the lowest how low would you go on that age gap? If you were single, dating, you matched with somebody on a site.
It just depends on the connection, and if, because you know me, I can see right through somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell if she's in it for a serious relationship or just a quick.
But you got to think somebody
In
that
it to
young,
win it or in it pin it.
That's right.
somebody that young for you and for you might want kids.
Bullshit.
Not happening. See, and that's another problem. When I was dating, even the guys, 32 years old, yeah, I want kids.
How many times I
Nope.
ran across that?
Nope.
In a dating profile, I want kids. That's non-negotiable.
Like they said, they
Damn,
want kids
you
and
are
it's
a fucking
non-negotiable.
10 plus, and I would make babies with you. However,
You would practice.
yeah, I would
You would
That
practice.
actually make 'em.
Yeah.
So-
You don't need all that trouble.
No.
Christina was 39 and he was 24. Yeah, that's a 15-year age gap. That's just not.
Again, he's in his 20s. I think it all boils down to the 20s. And I think we can all agree, whether guy or girl. Like, 20s is
20s is hard. It's a bad
it's
time.
A tough
It's
Honestly, I don't want them.
Sure.
Probably no more than. I don't even want to say 5 years. Like 2 or 3 years.
Okay, well,
I want us to be at least in the same.
mindset.
Yeah, mindset.
Generation?
Generation.
Yeah, like just in like I want to have the same type of problems. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That's something you connect with. When you're 21, your problem is where are you going to drink at the bar what bar are you going to drink at that night? When you're 31, it's what time am I going to go to bed so I can get up and go to work tomorrow? Like,
I just about said the worst thing I ever said. I'm not going to say
you're not
it.
going to
Don't
say
even
it.
tell me
You're
because I
not-
can't.
I'm not even going to
really
tell you to
can't.
say it.
I can't.
Okay. So what is the oldest you would go? I said the oldest I would go was like 42, 43, somewhere in there. So what's the oldest you would have dated? From a girl and a guy perspective, it tends to be different. A lot of guys don't want to date a girl older than them. A lot of guys don't.
I mean, I don't, because I guess for me it's when we get older and she's like old and gray and wrinkly and I'm like still
I knew he was going there.
You know, stretched, my skin's fucking still shiny and glowing. Like,
I don't mean,
you know
I'm not
what I
even
mean?
talking.
Like,
They don't
You
have to
do
be
have
30
a-
years older. They can be like 2 years older.
Now, if she had some money,
Oh,
she had a lot of money, she could be
Sugar.
95 and I'm good with it.
Sugar
You know what I mean?
mama. Kathy, Mom, what are we calling you and telling you? Mom's
Oh, she's probably talking about what I was going to say. But.
Oh. Okay, what about you?
I'm not opposed to older, but like I said, it still falls into that like staying in the same. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Same error.
Yeah,
The same
like,
error.
Like there's
Era.
I'm from
there, and there.
yeah
It's like
era.
one of those. I guess is a. I don't want to say generational, but just in the same, I guess, era. You know, like error, same error.
It is generational because we're all millennials.
But
Like,
at the same time,
we all
like,
grew up the same way.
that's why I have a hard time with it, is because
I'm
I can.
not a millennial.
I can
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I am Generation Y.
We need a bell because I was just talking. And
Talk.
you guys over talked me.
Talk.
Sorry.
No. It's okay. Hey, it's okay.
Finish.
You know, I get offended.
I
over
totally
that.
forgot. I get along with literally anybody. So it's like, I think what it comes down to, and there's no way I could ever date as low as 18, 19, 20, 25. Like, just there's just no way. They are partying way too hard for me. Like,
You are. You
I don't even
actually
go out
do-
with you guys.
You actually do need like an 80-year-old woman that doesn't go anywhere. Yes, that's you.
I'm just,
Yeah, we've invited you several times.
maybe I'm way older than I look.
He's got to wake up and watch The Price is Right.
I've always been. I used to
No,
love
he's got to
that
watch
show.
QVC.
I like.
Yes, QVC.
So, by the way, millennials, also known as Generation Y, are typically defined as individuals born between 1981 and 1996. So, sir, you
That's
are a
millennials?
millennial. Yes, he's a millennial. Okay.
Okay, I agree with
Next.
that. The millennial.
Yeah,
I agree with
we're
that.
all millennials.
As long
here.
as you don't call me a Gen Z, I'm good.
No, you're not Gen Z. We all grew up in an era where our parents were not afraid to whip our ass in public,
Oh, I got
and
the
that is
shit
just
beat out of
what
me.
it is.
All my mom had to do was look at me.
I know.
Yeah,
My mom
right.
had this big purple
Right.
brush. It
She
said
whipped me with her eyes.
she had a big purple brush that said "the brush" in teal on that. When we knew if the brush came out, go.
My mom,
Run.
My mom had the finger.
Oh yeah,
That's
you-
all she had to do. When she pointed that finger,
She still points that damn finger.
whoa!
When you were a kid, that some bitch was 10 foot long.
It's like touching my nose. Like, holy shit!
The older you got,
Right.
the shorter the finger got.
Holy shit!
Oh
And
my
she
God.
still does it today, does
Oh,
she not?
yeah.
She does. She
Holy
does.
cow.
I saw something on Facebook the other day.
Yeah.
It
You better
said,
get in church, Jeffrey.
It said,
Jeff.
it says, I'll tell my mom all the stories now because what that bitch gonna do about it now? Yeah, like
My
what's
mom
she
would
gonna
still
do?
ground me.
My mom would try.
My
She
mom
knows I
would make me
wouldn't
come
listen.
stay with her and put me in the corner every day.
She probably would. We drank out of the water hose and didn't come in until the streetlights came on. That's right. That's the way it
Yep.
was.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about
Road
long-
bikes with no helmets.
I still would do that. So, sex fading in a long-term relationship. This is
Now there?
yeah.
I know, right?
Holy
Well, we
shit.
went on
40
a
minutes
we
in.
went on a rampage. So you brought this one up. So what brought this up for you?
You always hear guys complaining like, I never get any, blah blah blah, and I've known plenty of women that complain that their boyfriend or husband is just never in the mood or whatever.
Right.
So it's like what happens there? Why does that happen? Because all relationships, 9 times out of 10, it's constant at the
Yeah.
just did this. It's constant at the beginning.
Please make
And
sure
then-
that's a TikTok.
And then it just kind of fades to a point where it becomes a problem
Yeah.
in a lot of relationships. So
Well, and
it's-
I think there's also a gap too, because it's like you don't realize it's faded away because life, and then it's like then it becomes a problem because one of the two is like, fuck.
well, I mean, one of the two is always just never in the mood either.
Yeah.
I didn't see this. I never realized this until the first person ever told me he just never wants to do it, and I'm like, how does he never want to? I've never heard that, but it's a very common thing.
So about what time in a
She
relationship?
didn't recognize Jeff.
About what time in a relationship would you say that usually happens? Typically, statistically.
I think it's after the honeymoon phase, which is typically 6 months.
Yeah.
Depending on the relationship, depending on
How often you're around each other.
yeah,
If you're a long distance relationship, 6 months is different than if you're right up the road from each other
and I
or
think
living together.
I think one of the biggest things that plays into it too is how open you are with somebody about what you like or what you're into or whatever, so if you're closed off and you're not open about what you're truly into or what you enjoy, it secludes you, and both parties might not be open, and it secludes you to a point where you're bored because you're not expanding to what you truly want.
In a relationship, when it comes to the intimacy, it should be about exploring each other, trying different things. And you should be comfortable enough with your partner to say, hey, let's try this.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. So it's important to be open with your partner about what you want, what works, what doesn't work. Because it could be, the girl's just faking it every time. And eventually she just gets fucking tired of faking it. So it's not doing anything for her. But at the same time, that's her fault because she's not opening up to her partner to say, this doesn't work for me. Let's try this. Or
You get
how do
bored
feel
of the
about
same
this?
thing.
Yeah, you should always be exploring your partner. Whether you could go home with the most ridiculous idea ever to try. You could laugh your asses off while you're attempting to get in whatever position it is. But you're having that bonding moment
Right.
where you both look ridiculous. It's not, you should never feel embarrassed in front of your partner. Gotta fake it till you make it. Look, a girl's only gonna fake it for so long. A girl can only fake it for so long. She's got to have something, sir.
You're the man, Ben.
So do you think it is natural for this to happen, or is it a red flag when it happens?
I don't feel as though it's a red flag. I just feel there's either miscommunication or
I think it's a red flag.
it could be a number of things. I don't think it's a red flag. I mean, if in my opinion, if lack of sexual attention is a red flag for you, you're not working hard enough on your relationship.
It's not that the lack of sexual attention. It's if I don't feel comfortable to communicate with my partner my needs or wants, or if I feel, a woman in her head and a man, your partner alone no longer wants to touch you or be intimate with you, it brings out insecurities. Are they not attracted to me? Are they getting it somewhere else?
Well, like I said, I think there's a number of different factors as to why it happens, and it comes down to communication and openness. I mean, I guess what you said. I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, I have
you have to be open and communicate in order to have a good relationship. And if you're not doing either, then maybe there is something on the outside, or maybe you're just not as attracted.
Did you have to pee-pee?
That's a
long
pee.
I was summoned. Having a little bit of internet connection issue.
Oh.
Yeah.
To what?
So.
Okay. So,
not me. No.
Okay.
So I had a friend that was in a long-term relationship who, from the beginning, sex was not. She really didn't care about it. Like
you say in the beginning of she just got into a relationship.
Yeah, like in the beginning of the relationship, there was and it caused problems in the relationship because she never wanted to have sex. It just never.
Do you think that was like an inner problem, like something she had going on with herself?
It never, as she would express, it never did anything for her. Like, it was just like an asexual type situation. Like, it just never did anything for her. So why do it?
The man in me wants to say you haven't had the right one, but I guess I understand.
I mean, ultimately that relationship ended because no matter how honest they were, there was always, getting testosterone checked because women still have testosterone, getting all the blood levels checked, getting, a lot of different things were blamed for the fact that she never wanted to, but it wasn't anything, but that's just wasn't the person.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it
happens. It's not, sometimes it is a sign that that's not your person. Me, I need to be physically attracted to my person. That is important to me, to be physically attracted to my person, to have that connection, to continue that relationship. You know what I mean? To me, that is a very important part of a relationship, and it should always be explored, always, and open communication about it.
So you think a good, healthy sexual relationship is important for the ultimate?
It's the most intimate, most vulnerable way you can be with somebody. Like, there's no more, you can't get any more vulnerable than that. It is such a sacred part of a relationship.
Yeah.
There's only like that person that knows that side of you when it's the right person. So I think it's an extremely important part of a relationship, and it can make or break a relationship.
I think having like ultimate comfort as well. Mm-hmm. Like as comforting or not comforting, but as being as comfortable as like Jeff just bending over and spreading his ass cheeks to show you his butthole. Like, do you feel that comfortable with her?
Well, I did fart on her the other day.
Oh,
he did.
Typically, I don't.
I love how you like.
I really don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not.
I typically don't do stuff like that. I just felt the urge.
I don't know. I just never really.
He didn't mean to.
She made me laugh. I was trying to get my arm out, and I was straining to get my arm out.
He just slipped.
I absolutely died.
Babe, I ate something bad today. It's messing up my stomach.
That's so funny.
She tickled me one time, and I did fart.
It was. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
That's amazing.
Where we at?
So, question, is scheduling sex a solution or the least sexiest thing ever?
I don't think you should ever
schedule it. You shouldn't be like, we do it every Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I mean,
watch football, have sex.
Like,
go to church after.
You're supposed to do that in the morning.
There's night service.
Church, football, sex.
No, I mean,
you
like,
gotta go to church again.
Like, we're leaving the concert. We're fucking. I mean, that's fine. You know what I mean?
But to me, someone scheduling it is someone desperate. Like, this person's like, okay, well, Saturday's the day we have off work. We're not tired. We're not this. We don't have kids functions going on, things like that. You know, it's just like, that's something that's supposed to be natural. You're just supposed to be laying in bed together and it just happens. Like, that's something you shouldn't have to just think about. It should just happen.
You get the urge.
Yeah, like, and it just comes. And like I said earlier, you weren't in here. You should be comfortable enough with your partner to try a position that may not work, and both of you end up just laughing at each other like the whole
somebody
time.
farts.
And somebody farts, and you just like have that story between you two of, remember that one time when we tried this, and no, we're never trying that shit again. Like, again, you're the most vulnerable you can be when that happens. So if your partner, if sex becomes an issue in your relationship, you either need to fix it or that relationship's just not for you. Like, that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree. Like we said, I think it's all about communication and being open and you know, being able to
be comfortable.
Back to you, Jeff.
What were you?
Yeah, I mean, like you said,
tried.
If sex becomes an issue, I mean, I'm thinking you're referring to issue as like when we got to plan it, or that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, like it's just not happening.
I didn't know if you meant like sex becomes an issue, like.
No, sex becomes an issue between the two. Like, it's just either not happening or, you know, again, like I said, my friend, you know, she wasn't getting off when they did, so she didn't give a shit about it. And so she just, like, I mean, eventually that relationship ended because she didn't feel comfortable enough to communicate that fact.
Well, and there is a lot of women that go through that period.
Yeah, I mewant it's harder to get a woman off than it is a man.
Well, it is. I mean, but it's not just that. It's just they go through that where they just don't want to have sex.
Yeah. They go through that period every month.
Yeah. There's about 3 to 5 days. Yeah. Well, I mean, we
should do one of those things. Me and Jeff try out.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
The way period cramps feel.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Before we move forward, I think it's a good time to take a break.
That is our break. That was what I wrote in there.
See, that's why I write shit down. Welcome back to that stupid dating show.
Did you miss us?
So,
nobody said yes.
Yeah. Well, there's like a delay.
Okay. So how do you feel? Anyways, right into it.
Yep.
How do you feel when you hear that friend that always says, I'm talking to someone? Like, what does that mean to you? I'm talking to someone.
Well, I guess it depends on the friend. But talking to someone means they found someone of interest.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that phrase. But then again, they're like, I'm in the same dinner. So you're at dinner and they're like, well, I'm talking to this person. And then later they're like, I'm so over dating.
Then they shouldn't be talking to that person. They shouldn't. I might want to. What's that person's number so I can call them and let them know that you're
over dating?
Kind of dumb right now.
It's like that person that's like always single, but they're always meeting people.
Yeah. So, like for me, it's the people that they get into relationships. So this was my idea of a topic. Right. I'll just go ahead and say that. I should have started this, actually.
You really should have, but you didn't.
We got to work on stuff. We're getting there. That's why we got Jeff. So my thing was, like, I see so many people, like on Facebook, social media, whatever, and they'll get with somebody, and it's just like the love of their life. Like, they are just head over heels, this and that, and then a week later, it's over.
There's a common denominator.
And so then they have all these memes, or they say all this stuff talking about dating. Like, all they talk about is finding, like, it's like that's all they literally talk about is finding someone.
And how they can't find anybody, and why can't they find anybody.
And then they'll get into a relationship and let them move in a week after knowing them when you have a kid in the house. And then a week later, he's running through What's it? I
Burkdale.
forgot the name of the place.
He's running through Burkdale.
I
What
just
did you
did something.
do?
Yeah.
Something happened. I can't hear.
It
Hold
might-
on.
What happened?
Oh, I got it.
We're back.
Mayday.
It's a little. You got to tap it.
Get a little tappy tap.
Yeah, I got to mess with that. Anyways,
Back to where you were.
Rain's got to go. So give Rain a minute. He's got to go play with his toys.
you know, I have so many toys. I have an RC.
Dang, I'm dropping everything.
If that's not the opener, I'm quitting.
He said he's got so many.
Did anybody else hear the? Did you hear that? It sounded like a clown horn.
I think Michelle farted.
It was a queef.
SOS.
Talk about derailment.
Help. Help.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Kathy, come get your son.
I should have rephrased this.
God.
But like I have a lot of like I got
Rain's got a lot of toys.
I got my RC truck. I got my PlayStation
He's got his
4.
vibrator.
I got my drone. Like
He's got his butt plugs.
I don't even know why we were talking about this. Like I don't even know where we were
Well,
at.
because you had to tap the thing, and I was like, "Hold, please," while Rain goes and
Oh,
plays
yeah.
with his toys.
It started with
whoosh, right off the tracks.
wow.
That was amazing.
Oh boy.
That's how easy it happens. The train just runs off the track.
Rain's just that easy, guys.
All right. It's starting to hurt.
Which direction?
Oh my god.
Let me whip out
You
my
cannot.
spatula.
Help.
This has probably been my most favorite episode.
Like, okay, we were on a topic, and then we went to toys.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
so
was the
you
topic?
were talking about people online about saying, "Oh my God, I'm so in love, and then a week later they're not anymore,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's like, why can't anybody love me, bitch? Because you're setting yourself up for failure.
So,
You're toxic.
Like I've had so many like those people that are always saying, "I'm never gonna find the one. I'm never gonna find the one." I just. Do you believe in the one?
Do you know why they're not finding?
I'm asking the wrong people.
You kind of are.
Yeah.
You kind of are.
Fucking
No, go
gays.
Go ahead. I'll give my.
I believe
input.
I believe in the perfect match, and I found my perfect match. There is nobody else that's going to be any better. So yes, you are completely asking the wrong people because I didn't, and I do now.
Were you? Did you feel helpless at a certain point until you met Jeff? Like you were like, I'm never gonna find anybody else. I mean, I don't think you were.
No.
You know.
It's about being content alone. I didn't have to have somebody.
Oh, okay. You're not that type then.
No, I didn't have to have somebody. Did I look for that connection? Yes, of course. Everybody wants that connection in their life. Everybody should want what we have.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody should want what we have. And I was very, very content alone. It was fine with me. I'm an independent woman. I pay my own bills. I can be in a home by myself. I can sleep in a bed by myself. I can do all of those things on my own. I don't need somebody, but I wanted somebody to share life with. And so I looked for somebody to share my life with, and I found somebody that fits who I want to share my life with.
So there's those people that are on the opposite end. Like, I'm never going to find anybody.
Yeah, because the only reason they feel good about themselves is if they have somebody that loves them. Go ahead. You can have
Well,
something
I
in
will
mind.
say this. If you're on a dating site or multiple dating sites and been in a dating world for so long, you start to become cumbersome. You know what I mean? Where, like, you meet this perfect person. Maybe she is or he is just drop dead gorgeous, but you always find something wrong with that person, no matter how big or how small. Like, it could be something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? Like, you look for the negative in that person because you've been rejected, or you've always found somebody that, you know, you just didn't connect with. You always find that negative in somebody all the time. So you just keep moving to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, hoping that they're going to be that perfect person in your head, what makes them perfect. But you're never going to find that because there's nobody perfect in the world.
No, you have to
know
accept
what I mean?
a person's imperfections.
Yeah, that's what's fun, is finding the flaws. But can you deal with the flaws? Can you accept the flaws? Can you live with the flaws? You know what I mean?
I feel like that's probably the smartest thing Jeff has ever said in his life.
That is very fucking smart right there.
Yeah, like that was. I'm
I was waiting on
impressed.
him to say that's very
That is
fucking
deep.
true.
That's deep shit.
I'm
You know what I mean?
impressed.
That's,
I really
that's
am.
deep shit.
But you're right though. You have to be willing to accept somebody's imperfections.
Well, the
Nobody's
reason
gonna
why I
be
say that is
perfect.
because I've been there.
We've had our fights.
On top of what he was saying when it comes to rejection and being turned off by the flaws, like I think it could even come down to, let's say Billy rejected you and Billy has a certain look or a certain way he talks or does things. So the next person you go to, if you see Billy and John
Yes.
at all,
Yep.
you're going to instantly be turned off
Right.
because Billy turned you down.
Right.
So it's like, it really comes down to you can't project your past on your present or future.
But some of these women that you're talking about that are posting these things of, why doesn't anybody love me? Well, why don't you love yourself? Because the second you're saying, why doesn't anybody love me?
Well,
you are giving a clear hint. You don't love yourself.
And that ultimately is all what it's all about. You got to love yourself before you love somebody else.
Christina says it's fear of getting hurt.
It is.
but are you not
it
hurting
is.
yourself more?
I don't
It is a fear of getting hurt.
I think it's a fear of getting hurt, but I think ultimately it's the PTSD of what your past has dealt
Your
you.
past. Yeah.
And everybody has something from their past that everybody has something. Everybody has a past.
Yeah.
But you got to find that person that's willing to work with you.
You got to also be vulnerable too.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
Like
fucking rug.
You gotta.
What the fuck did you do?
Why are you blaming it on me?
It's your side.
What did I do?
It's under your chair, bro.
What the hell?
Nobody
Anyway.
can see it. It's fine.
We're just talking about Jeff's rug.
You want to see my rug?
All right.
Rain's got toys. I got a rug. What do you got?
Wait, what you got?
Let's see what you
That's
got.
my question.
I need Jesus.
I think we all need Jesus.
Okay, what were you? What? Trauma is real. Not many people willing to work through those fears, though. Well, grow a pair of balls and do it anyways.
Fear is the
I mean-
ultimate defeat of success.
It's all about taking a chance.
Everybody's been through shit.
Sometimes you got to take a chance.
Yeah.
And yeah,
This was your subject.
I know. I
we
just felt
really
like I mean I felt like we
anything-
covered it all.
Like, I
did.
mean, like
We covered
Jeff
it.
covered it all.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
because
he
he got deep there.
After Jeff talked, I didn't have anything else to
Yeah.
say.
I got
I mean-
balls deep in that.
Again,
Yeah.
if you don't love yourself, if you're not content with who you are, you need to take a break and you need to find yourself before you try to find somebody else. Don't make how you feel about yourself be reliant on how somebody else feels about you. Like, that's just I know I'm a fantastic fucking person. You either like me or you don't, and if you don't, go fuck yourself. I don't really care.
If you don't, you might later.
What?
Well, I didn't like you at first, and then
Yeah, he really didn't. Most people don't like me the first time they meet me, though.
I feel like Jeff did.
Jeff did. Most people don't, though. But I was on my best behavior.
I did.
Yeah.
It was the first date. I was on my best behavior.
I don't feel like I've ever seen you not on your best behavior.
Jeff has.
She was honest. That's what I liked.
Mm.
She was completely honest.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So let's talk about dating stereotypes in men versus women. Because there are a lot. There are a lot of men can do this, women can't do this, women can do this, blah, blah, blah. So men are usually praised. Oh, you got this many girls? Like, they're usually praised on their number.
Mm-hmm.
Women are sluts. If they have the same number as a man, women are sluts. Men are players. How y'all feel about that?
I think that stereotype comes from way, way, way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think it's engraved in the DNA.
And we are in 2025. And like I said earlier, there are women on OnlyFans that are trying to break world records for how many men they can sleep with in a 12-hour span.
Okay, so let's talk about that subject real quick.
Okay. Talk about it.
Well, not so much you, but Rain. would you have a serious relationship with a girl that slept with 500 plus men?
I feel like she's gonna want to stay up later than I am a lot, and probably not. The past is the past. It truly
It's not the past. She's on OnlyFans and she's engaged. It's her present.
Well, he didn't say all that.
She's on OnlyFans. She slept. This girl slept with almost 600 men in 6 hours.
I was gonna say, how many people do you know that are living in 2025 that don't realize they're living in 2025? And I think that's where the stereotype comes from, is so many people are living in what the past used to be, and it's not. I mean, everything evolves. Everything's always going to change no matter what. Everything's going to grow. But people are stuck in their old-fashioned ways and don't understand the present moment versus where they grew up.
Yeah, true.
Even I come from a time period, in all reality, in high school, where if a girl has slept with like more than 3 guys, she's easy.
Oh, me too. Like that was very stereotypical in high school.
You know what I mean? So.
And then if you were a girl that didn't sleep with
But
anybody, you were a loser.
But a guy that's only slept with 3 girls, like, dude, what the fuck?
What's
You know
your
what I mean?
problem? Well, what about when men have high standards? It means they're a confident man. When a woman has high standards, she's picky.
Never thought of that like that.
Yeah. When a woman has, okay, let's say Nicole and Charlotte, because you guys have talked about Nicole and Charlotte on the show several times. She has a standard. She wants a higher class man. That's what she wants. That's the lifestyle that she wants. Well, she's this horrible, uptight, picky person because that's the standard she wants. Where a man can say, I want a housewife that gets her nails done and gets her hair done and all that. And he's confident because he's going to have that good looking woman by his side. But she is difficult and annoying because she has her own standard. Everybody's entitled to a standard.
I mean, you're attracted to what you're attracted to. You can't help that. Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of based on how you were raised. Not too long ago, I literally heard somebody making fun of people that live in trailers, and I didn't think that was a thing anymore. I thought it was cool to live in a trailer at this point.
It's fucking cheaper. Well, it's still not that cheap.
But like I just heard somebody bashing somebody that lived in a trailer, and it's just like, we're almost 40. Like, what are you talking about? Come on. You know, I mean, it's just, I think people are too closed-minded.
Yeah.
Nowadays, or all days. I mean, there's too many closed-minded people. People don't expand out of their box. They don't experience life. I think they're the most inexperienced people, are the ones that are the most closed-minded.
It's true. So let's go into how you guys feel about these different stereotypes about men. Okay, I'm not going to give my opinion on it because I'm not a man. I don't know. So men are only after one thing. You hear that all the time from women, especially when we have them on the show. They're only after one thing. What'd Tammy Sue say? Obviously, since he put her against the wall, he was only after one thing. So how do y'all feel when you hear that?
Not all men are after one thing. They're not.
I mean, yeah.
You may come across 10 men that are.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the ratio. Like, for every 20 men, there's one man that's not just after one thing.
Yeah.
It's just like it's in a man's DNA to just recreate or whatever you call it, reproduce.
I think that comes back to the age thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a 22-year-old, you ask that same question to a 22-year-old, he's going to tell you.
Which goes back to what you were saying, is like you wouldn't go under a certain age because they just all wanted one thing.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that was my experience. Every single one of them that was even a conversation or just a message, it was, you knew where it was going. And that's just what it was. What about when you hear men don't want commitment? Women are more apt to settle down. That's just the way it is. Women are more apt to want to get married.
I think when a
things
guy
like that.
says he doesn't want commitment, he's just unsure about the future.
Yeah, I was kind of going to say the same
You know
thing.
what I mean?
Like,
Yeah.
I think it depends on where they're at in life.
Yeah.
You know, like
Exactly. Financially.
depending on
Just-
how many divorces they've had or what kind of shit they've been through.
Yeah.
Like it
Okay. He's a player if he dates a lot.
that's stupid.
Right. That just means he hasn't found that one connection. Like, okay, you date a lot. Every time, like, okay, so that group that I'm in now, are we dating the same guy?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see these people posting, and it's the same guy gets posted several times. And it's always like, oh, red flag, he's dated several girls in this group. Okay, just because you had a bad experience doesn't mean that everybody has a bad
I gotta take a pee
experience.
Jeez, I didn't know what you were about to do.
I thought he was raising his hand
Yeah.
to ask a
I thought
question.
he was gonna start beating you or something.
I'd take him out, and he knows that.
I believe it. I'd just sit here and watch you beat his ass.
She hears him say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. Wait, what?
I said,
That's a
Brandy,
song. Yeah.
you're a. I don't know. I can't remember the song.
I don't remember
Is
the
it You're a
song.
Fine
That's
Girl?
why it took a minute. Okay, he's a catch if he's single and successful.
No.
No. Men don't care about looks.
If he's single and successful, I mean, okay, what age? Do we put an age on it?
I mean, it doesn't give an age.
Let's say 35 and above. Single
Okay.
and successful.
That's what, yes.
If he's single and successful, his mind's on his money and his money's on his mind.
Yeah.
And he's probably successfully
Well, and
hitting
I
every
think,
girl on the
too,
street.
That comes with the commitment thing. That goes back to the commitment thing, because some men have been through nasty divorces where the woman hung them out to dry for their money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you hear that all the time. It happens to women, but not nearly as often as it happens to men.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the man is the breadwinner. They get a divorce, and they lose half their shit, their house, everything they built. They lose it in the divorce. So now you've got him out there dating, and he's going to be more protective of those things. And he may not believe in marriage anymore because he got brought through the ringer.
Yeah.
Red flag is usually never married and no kids. I actually do not agree with that. I do not think never being married and no kids is a red flag.
I feel like that's a little like afraid of commitment, though.
Is it though? Or they just haven't found the right person and they were smart about it? Because here I am divorced.
How many smart men do you know?
It's true. But the reason I say this is because I'm with somebody that's never been married.
Do what?
Jeff's never been married.
You have any kids, Jeff?
I do.
Okay, cool. So you're not a red flag.
I just don't think that's a red flag. You know how many people nowadays are saying they're not having kids? Like women. How many people did we run into on the streets? And they were like,
But I've never
I was
been
blown
married.
away at some of those people. Like,
I said that.
No, I mean, like, I've never been married. And a lot of people look at me like, why?
Have you been engaged?
I have once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once. How long were you engaged until it ended?
Couple months. Yeah.
Which I mean, it is what it is. I just don't think it's a
But-
red flag because a
but
lot
I-
of people don't want to be married. It's not that you don't want to be married, but a lot of people, it's not that goes back to the old standards. You get older, you get married, you have kids. That's an old standard that we have. It's not a standard anymore. The difference in being married and dating is a piece of legal paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference in a marriage. And yes, it is a commitment thing too, and that's the way a lot of people look at it. But just because you may not have found the right person, there are people that fucked up and thought they may have found the right person, and guess what?
For me, it's not a commitment thing. It was.
Yeah.
It was, but not now. The problem with me is my father's been married 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
My mother's been married 3 times.
Yeah.
So you get that mindset. You're kind of like,
You see the failure
you
within.
see the failure after failure after failure. So you're kind of like, I don't want to follow that same path. When I find that person, I want to make sure it's it. Now, granted, we can't sit here and say that we're going to be together forever. 100%. We can't.
Motherfucker's not going anywhere. I'll kill him.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him go either.
But we can't. We can't honestly
I know, you don't
say-
know what's gonna happen.
You don't.
You never
don't
know what's gonna
in
happen.
5 years, it might be like, I hate that bitch. You know what? Fuck her. She farts in her sleep. I'm fucking tired of that shit.
Well, at least when I'm asleep, not when I'm awake. But as I was saying, like earlier, when we were live on the streets, all these people did not want kids. They were like, no, I don't have kids. No, I don't want kids. So many women are breaking that standard of they have to have kids.
You know, I almost didn't get married a second time because I heard my ex-wife fart in her sleep one time when we first started dating.
You probably should have followed your intuition.
Well,
But do you
She
have
was-
kids,
she-
Rain?
no, I
You
don't.
don't have any kids? Do you want kids, though?
No.
You don't
I
want kids?
No.
He's had a
You just
vasectomy.
not, that's just not your
I mean, it goes. No, I just never pictured it. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things like, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
You know, I don't know.
You know when you know. You know.
You just didn't want to, and that's okay. You don't have to. Like I said, growing up, that was our standard, was to get married and have kids, but that's not a standard anymore.
It's so frowned upon because it does go back to the old-fashioned ways or whatever, the old standards. But I mean, I think if more people made choices to not have kids, we'd have a better world.
Yep.
My parents were married for 38 years, and being older now, I realize how toxic their relationship was. Yeah. I mean, my mom and dad were married. They got divorced. It was nasty. It's a nasty divorce.
I luckily, my parents got divorced when I was 11, and I probably had the easiest time dealing with it than any other kid in the world. Just, I don't know why, it just seemed natural, I guess.
I think I was like 7, but it was nasty. Okay, stereotypes about women. I'm the only one that can have an opinion on it. Women only date for money.
I don't think, no. That's a stereotype.
I think
for
there
sure.
are certain women that have a standard, but they're not only dating for the money. Women get too emotionally attached.
Yeah.
I'm like the wrong woman to ask that one about.
I think so.
Like, I am now, but like at first, I mean, that almost ended us because I just wasn't an emotional person. I'm not.
My mom said the way you fart and you're going to be picky.
Good job, Brayden.
My mom about put me up for adoption when I was in elementary school.
I probably would. At least you didn't follow through with it. I probably would have.
I was always so nervous about going to school. I would fart. I'd have the nervous farts, and I would she about pulled over and put me out one day.
I can't take it. I can't take it. Quit farting.
If she sings,
Should have never had this kid. This nasty kid.
Can't take it anymore.
I can't. If she's 30 and single, if she's past 30 and single, something's wrong with her.
Nah.
Again, stereotypical.
I don't.
Like, very.
Yeah.
She's desperate if she makes the first move. Okay.
No.
Right?
No.
She's confident. Fuck
right.
it. She sees something she likes and she says it. Like, is that confident not sexy? Is confidence not sexy in a woman? Confidence. You have to think about that.
Jeff's like,
Confidence is okay as long as you're not cocky.
Right.
Yeah, okay. That's a good point.
Difference
That's a good
between
point.
confident and cocky.
Yeah.
You've got a man that's confident to approach a woman, but then you got a man that's got cocky and he's got gym selfies as his fucking profile pictures on his dating app. Like,
or fish pictures.
yeah, there's a difference.
they both start with CO and they could go either way.
Right.
But like if you're at a bar, you make eye contact with somebody. I wouldn't, when I was single, I am that woman that would have been like, fuck it, you're taking too goddamn long. I'm gonna go to you. I don't give a shit. I mean,
Jeff, how do you feel about women approaching you, making the first move like that? Like, how would you see that? Like, what if a woman comes up to you and like, hey, big
I've
boy?
had that before. Well, not that. But I've had that before.
clarified.
I've had that before. I've had a girl say, "I've been watching you all night when I used to dance," and they're like, "I just love your ass when you dance." Like it made me feel great, but at the same time, it's kind of like, whoa.
Well, because you're not used to that.
You're not. Like
Guys aren't used to that.
No.
Okay, so that's a good point.
You drop that phone one more time.
That's a good point. Is maybe guys are turned off by it or intimidated by it because they're not used to it.
That's the word, intimidation.
Intimidation.
Yeah.
It's a man being intimidated by it.
Yep.
And I mean, I could see that, but see, and for girls, the problem is men are afraid to approach because women find men creepy a lot of times if they approach. But to me, there does have to be that go into it kind of thing. Like, there's got to be the eye contact. There's got to be some sort of build up, not just
Listen,
like a
I was
random.
always told when you talk to a woman, lick your lips.
You just look like you had a problem to
I
me.
did. I licked my lips when I was talking to you on our first date.
I don't remember that.
Not stupidly. More say. But
She'd been like, "Rain, come get me." I'd be like, 2 days later, I'm with the cops.
Just that gentle little. You know what I mean? That gentle little.
You know, I didn't even notice you were doing that.
Probably because you were already in the mood.
I was fucking hypnotized at
It
that
was
point
a
already.
subconscious thing.
I'm just like thinking about it, thinking back to our first date. I don't remember you licking.
You're making me
lips or
uncomfortable.
anything.
I know. He just winked. Now it made it even more. Yeah, I don't like it.
That little bite your bottom lip little.
Gonna have to put up a wall.
Yeah, if I was at
So
a bar and you just walked up to me and were talking to me and you just
licking
like
his lips.
And it's
bit
all
your
about
bottom
shoes
lip
too.
and winked at me, I'd probably
Shoes?
punched you in the
Shoes.
face.
Yes, I was told that by a lot of women.
Shoes.
The shoes that a guy wears, like out at a bar,
Right.
Not just like.
It's like the last thing I notice.
Well, you're not.
You're not a typical woman.
Yeah.
All right. I hate that phrase. I hate that phrase so much. Because what the fuck is your typical woman? What is your typical woman? Tell me.
I love how Jeff finished my
Define it.
thought.
What is your
A
typical woman?
I don't know. A typical woman
So you don't know.
is
High standards,
I-
pissed off, and she
yes.
never wants to fuck you.
That's. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
I just no.
So find yourself a fucking unicorn right there. You are a fucking unicorn.
I'm a unicorn.
You are a unicorn jumping
just-
over a fucking
Call
pot
a
of
strap
gold.
on.
I mean, I know that like when I
Me
can
lucky charms.
when I compare myself to a lot of the girls that I know, I am very different than them. I do have a very different mindset. I can see a guy's point of view on things a lot of times more
You do.
than I can see her point of view on it, because I'm like, you're being a dumb bitch.
How many subjects have we talked about before in a serious conversation, and you're like, you know what, I'm with you.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
that bitch
I mean,
is fucking stupid. She's fucking crazy.
But see, for me, that's not different. That's not any different.
I think you're more of a logical thinker, though.
Yeah, I think that's
outside the box.
Yeah.
Outside
yeah.
of the,
Like I can see
perimeters.
another point of view, not
Right.
just mine or hers
Yeah.
or whatever. Like I can see all the points of view.
Yep.
So, and then the last one is she's too picky, meaning she has standards and she's being difficult. Now, do I think some women's standards are absolutely fucking ridiculous and you might need to lower them? Sure. But that's their standards and that's not up to me to decide. If she wants to keep going out there and trying to find that perfect person, let her do it. Everybody, to each their own. I just looked for somebody I connected with. Wage, I mean, you had to be able to support yourself, but your wages didn't matter. I needed to be attracted to you, like your lifestyle, like, you know, I wasn't trying to date drug addicts and alcoholics and shit like that. Like, those were my standards, but my standards were like realistic standards, I guess, is where I'm at. Where some are like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom and I want to live in a $2.5 million house and I want to have, you know, the nicest car and all the nicest clothes.
I
got nothing. All
I
right.
mean, I'm okay with high standard women. I honestly, I think it's kind of attractive for a woman to have high standards.
You're okay with that?
Yeah,
Are you?
I am. I think because
They don't get on your nerves, like.
well, it just shows what she wants, and it makes it easier for me because I know what she wants.
It does, but I think the problem is they're bitchy about it
Yeah,
when they have that highest standards.
I think I've only ever been with bitchy women in my life, so I'm just used to it. Maybe.
I guess I don't get it because I'm just laid back. I don't know. Sure. Okay. Now, these are standards for both. The man should always pay for the first date. I think we've talked about that several times.
Yeah.
I actually do like the idea now, if I were in the dating world, of splitting the first date, like, but he did pay for our first date.
Okay, but let me throw a wrench in that. What if the girl comes onto the guy and she suggests,
Oh, no, she
the
should
first
pay
date?
for it. If she says, let's go on a date, and she's asking him out, and she's taking that initiative, then she should pay for it. And she should say that.
Let me take you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, maybe he's not so much into her, but she's like into him.
Yeah.
She's showing initiative.
Yeah.
And what about like when people say this says hot people are shallow, but I don't really go by that. But like, what if you see somebody across the bar and you feel like they're out of your league, so you don't even approach, you don't even think about approaching, but if you did approach, what if they were, yes, they're gorgeous and they look like out of your league, but you meet them and they're just a down-to-earth person and they're just not.
I guess you got
So
lucky.
many people go by looks anymore.
That's true.
And the way somebody looks, like I could walk into somewhere, you know, all dressed to the nines, but at the end of the day, I'm going to go out on the dance floor and sweat like everybody else. You know what? I guess I'm not going to like, I'll go work at the shop with him if I, you know, and then I'll go to the bar and I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I need assistance.
I think you're just
Words are not
not
working.
your average woman.
God damn it.
I mean that's just really what it is.
She's not.
She
really isn't.
I mean, you're just a cool chick, you know. Like you're
Easy
laid back.
going.
You're logical thinking. You look outside the box. You know, it's like you're just different.
She's kind of
You're
like
special.
She's kind of like one of the guys.
Yeah.
I mean, in all reality, you are.
So like
You're-
hanging out with one of the guys?
On a social level, yes, you are.
It's a good save.
Yeah, but I can take you back home, and you're gonna be
Treat you
totally-
like one of the ladies.
That's right.
Well,
One of the ladies of the night.
Jeff sees I cannot.
Does he do that?
No, only on the show. Because he knows I'd just laugh too damn hard if he tried. I'm like, the fuck are you doing?
Oh boy.
You can tell who's the crazy one of the crowd, huh?
We thought it was Rain, but
definitely
then
Michelle.
Jeff came. Yeah, definitely Michelle. Michonne?
Michelle's
No.
and cheese.
Yeah, that happens. I cannot with you guys. All right. So did you write your jokes?
Yeah.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
So how are we going to do this? Am I going to read mine? And you're going to read yours? Or are we going to do one and then one and then one and then one?
It makes it hard without like a consequence, you know?
I know, but I couldn't think of anything because if you were to shock me with that shock collar, I'd punch you in the throat. I did. I told him. He was like, what about the dog collar? I was like, I will throw hands.
I got to get batteries for it.
Well,
They died real quick. Me and Eric
Okay.
used it too much, I guess.
We do need one of those.
We used it on and off the podcast.
okay.
Can we find one of those?
What?
Like the burp
A buzzer?
buzzer. Yeah.
We need some kind of little, something.
We need
Okay.
something.
Well, so how do we want to... We did great planning this, guys.
Well, I mean, we did all really good all the way up until this point.
Well, no, I'm just asking, like, how do you want me to read all of mine? And have your reaction, or do we want to keep going back and forth?
Back and forth.
Back and forth. All right. So Jeff doesn't have any jokes, so me and Jeff are going to switch seats because I don't want Rain reading my piece of paper.
Okay.
Not that
I'll
Rain
be
reads.
the one that does the burp.
Rain,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Wait, get in your...
Wait a minute. Let's
It's only
switch
if
it up
somebody
a little
laughs.
Bit. Let's switch it up a little bit. You can't laugh at the other person's joke.
That's the whole point.
That's the game, Jeff.
You have the greatest ideas.
Wait a minute.
You have the best ideas.
Well, we're gonna do a segment of that.
I love your ideas. That's what it is. It's called Don't You Dare Laugh.
Okay. So you can't laugh, or I'm gonna do the bump. All right,
Okay,
you ready?
Who's going first?
I don't care.
Should we rock, paper, scissors it?
Okay.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. No! You get to go, or you get to pick.
Your scissors
You go
got
first.
crushed.
All right.
All right.
Why did Princess Diana cross the road?
I didn't laugh. You have to laugh out loud.
Oh, you gotta laugh out loud. Okay.
I don't know.
She wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
You're going to hell. You're going to hell. You are going to hell.
You like that one, Jeff?
I do.
Okay.
You can't make the bunker laugh.
You're allowed to laugh.
Okay. Okay.
What's another name for coming inside a woman?
Ooh. Ooh.
Cream pie.
Loading the dishwasher.
That's fucking wow.
I did not expect that. I did not expect that.
Can't laugh.
I'm allowed to laugh.
Neither one can
I'm
laugh.
allowed to laugh. At my own jokes, I'm allowed to laugh.
Oh my god.
Got you off guard.
That
one.
was really good.
That
was really good. ChatGPT's on fire.
That was not ChatGPT. That wasn't me, but it wasn't ChatGPT.
That was good.
Oh my god. All right.
Why can't orphans play baseball?
Because they don't know where home is.
Wow.
Ooh.
That was it.
She's on fire.
I've never seen anybody guess the joke that well. Have you seen that one?
Yeah. I have. It was one of the ones I almost did. And I was like, no, it's too much of a giveaway.
I guess.
Okay. What do you call a nurse with dirty knees?
Dirty or 30?
Dirty.
Dirty knees.
The head nurse. Rain's dying. Okay.
What's the difference between a baby and cancer?
It's gonna be so bad.
I don't go to jail when I beat cancer.
You're going to hell, though. Straight to hell.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you get a man with one arm out of a tree? Just wave at him.
So gay.
I can't believe you have such good ones.
You have to burn him. He just laughed.
What's the score?
I don't know, but this is good. I love your joke. Oh man. Oh, okay, here we go. When did Hitler kill himself?
Oh, God.
After he saw the gas bill.
I can't.
Oh my.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
That was just wrong.
All right. What do you call a nun in a wheelchair?
This is gonna go bad. This is going bad quick.
Virgin Mobile.
Where the fuck did you get this shit?
that might be the winner right there. That might be the winner.
I gotta tell that joke tomorrow at work.
Wow. That was brutal. Wow. It's getting hot in here.
Your turn.
Holy shit.
What did the gay man say to the quadriplegic?
I don't know.
I'd rather be a fruit than a vegetable.
Y'all going to hell. Both of y'all are going to hell.
Winnie Jesus. Okay. All right.
Okay.
This is bad.
Why don't orphans play Uno?
Because they don't get a second chance.
Because they keep getting skipped.
I'm crying. My eyes are watery.
I only have one more.
Okay.
That's just wrong.
What do you call a Muslim in a pool?
Oh, hell.
A bath bomb.
Did you see?
It was one. There was the one I saw was what do you call it? Terrorists swimming in the ocean. Okay, my last one. What do you call a man who cries while pleasuring himself? A tearjerker.
Here's my last one.
Okay.
What do you call a Chinese pedophile? Please don't guess it.
I don't know it.
Fuck 'em young.
Oh, you're like right, huh?
Oh my god.
Ooh.
They got
That was good.
sideways pussy.
That was amazing.
That was good.
That was amazing.
Where we at? Savage joke. Yesterday, a clown held a door open for me. I thought it was a nice gesture. That is the daddest dad joke.
That was a good. That was good.
one. That's a
That is
good
the
one.
daddiest dad joke.
The daddiest dad joke.
Daddiest dad joke.
Wow. This has been
That was
a
fantastic.
lot of fun. This has literally been my most favorite episode ever.
That was the joke. We both had some good ones.
Whoa, yeah, we did. I was not expecting that.
You weren't expecting me to
I really
come in
was
with that?
not.
You know how long it took me to find them fucking jokes?
I had some heavy hitters, but so did you.
Because I was like, this is not funny. This is not funny. Oh, that's offensive.
Yeah,
The
key
more
to it-
offensive, the
yeah,
better.
Yeah, the more offensive, the funnier it's gonna be.
There was one, I can't remember it. I read it off to the girl at work, and it was the orphan one where they couldn't
yeah.
find
Oh, my
home.
God.
And she was like, that's so bad. And then like she left, and I was like, I'm going with the Uno one.
The Uno one was good.
Listen, we got to go over those jokes again so I can remember them and tell them tomorrow when I'm somewhat. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you a.
I wrote him
I got all
down.
mine written down in the.
There we go.
That was amazing.
Just gonna like pull out a little piece of paper.
Literally-
So knock
Wrote that on
knock.
my hand.
I thought
So-
about ending with the nun one because that one was my favorite.
Yeah. No.
Oh no, the other one I saw that I was like, it was like, what do you call a woman that fucks a vegetable? Mrs. Hawking. I was like, I'm on the edge. I don't know.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Well,
That
that
is
was
great.
that was good. That was a good episode. Thank you everybody who joined us. Now we have to go ahead and announce the winner of the collaring contest. And I'm pretty sure it's what she's been waiting on the whole time. She's been.
Yeah, she's the only one.
She's the only one in there. So Christina is the winner of our coloring contest. So because she colored this picture, she gets one of our shirts where it says red flags are our love language, and then we have our logo on the front. So she's gonna get one.
Yay!
And then so that is her picture. Can you see it?
Look at that. That is cool as
That's
shit.
cool. It's got Charlotte at the top.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Look at that.
That's awesome.
That's an awesome picture. We are so happy for everybody, or we're so glad that everybody submitted their coloring contest pages. And
Thank you to all the submissions that we had, all 10
She had the
minus
most
9 of them.
creative. Shut up. She had the most creative one we got. But
so creative.
she's-
All the others sucked.
But what I'm saying is she's going to be rocking a That Stupid Dating Show shirt while all you other motherfuckers ain't doing shit.
And that's where we are at.
Yep.
By the way, we are not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we're going to be at Sammy's Neighborhood Pub, Belmont, North Carolina, June 14th. We're going to be going live at 8 p.m.
And when we say live, we mean live in the restaurant, not
in
live
person.
on Facebook.
Live in person.
We're going to have music, and we're going to have comedy, and we're going to have...
If you want to watch it, you got to be there.
Yep. You got to be there. Be there, be square.
It's going to be a good time. You guys, this has been awesome. Any final words for this amazing episode that we've had?
I'm good. I think we said everything.
I think we
did
said it
pretty
all.
damn
I
good.
think we said a little bit more than we need to.
Probably.
But, you know what?
Yeah, we said a little more than we need to.
Here we are.
All right. Appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you for listening. Follow us. Do all the things. We love you so much. That's been the Stupid Dating Show, and we are
Out.
I got motion. When I'm popping out, it's big. Motion. When I'm in the club, it's big. Motion. When I hit the scene, it's big. Motion. All my big homies got motion. You know I'm sliding, I stay on the move. I get off up in the mix, that's how I find my groove. Got the tool and the jewel to feed you proper food. It's best to stay off in your lane when you copping too.